This fall, my wife and I took a trip to Bavaria and visited the most beautiful lake in the Bavarian Alps. It's located a few miles south of a small town called Berchtesgaden, which we are passing through now. This town has a population of approximately 8,000 people, and it is located literally a few kilometers from the Austria border. This place is known not only for its picturesque landscapes and multiple ski resorts, but also for how many salt deposits are found here. And in fact, the first salt mines were built back in the 14th century. Since the later part of the 19th century, Berchtesgaden has been a part of Bavaria. In modern history, this town is known more so for being a notoriously favorite country retreat for high-ranking members of the Nazi Party, including Hitler, Göring, Goebbels, Bormann, and Himmler, to name just a few. In the late 30s, they bought up large parcels of land in the town of Obersalzberg, only a few kilometers away from here. Now we are heading to an even smaller town called Königssee, named after the lake at which it is located, according to records. Here we are in Königssee, a quaint little promenade with several hotels, restaurants, and shops catering to tourists. And here it is, Lake Königssee. The name can be translated to mean Royal Lake. You can purchase tickets and take a boat across it, which we are going to do now. The lake has amazingly clear water, and it is located at an altitude of about 600 meters above sea level, surrounded by an impressive alpine landscape of mountains and thick forests. Its length is a little under 8 kilometers, and at its widest point it is 1.2 kilometers. But it is its depth that's the most impressive, at 190 meters. I believe this is deep enough for even submarines to traverse. It is known to be one of the deepest and cleanest lakes in Germany. In fact, only electric or rowboats are permitted here according to a law passed back in 1909 in order to keep the lake in its pristine condition. The beauty and charm of Lake Königssee has always attracted not only the average families and tourists, but also famous or even notorious individuals. Many kings and dukes of Bavaria have considered it to be a favorite place for recreation and hunting parties throughout history. Speaking of notorious individuals, Adolf Hitler liked to take his boat out at this lake and even built his famous Berghof country residence here, and later on the Eagle Nest. His beloved Eva Braun was even more in love with this lake and spent every bit of time she could here. One of the most unique traits of Königssee Lake is its acoustics. Its ideal placement between the cliffs contributes to the creation of a physical phenomenon called an echo that has proven to be unusually clean and repetitive. They say there is a long-held tradition to stop boats somewhere in the middle of the lake and play the trumpet to demonstrate this echo effect to tourists so that they can grasp just how impressive it is. Back in 1688, a terrible thunderstorm sank a boat with 71 pilgrims on board. She was overturned, and tragically, there were no survivors. It did, however, bring about its own legend, and now the belief is that the souls of the drowned pilgrims are trapped there, echoing the captain's calls. Meanwhile, we are approaching a peninsula called Hirschau. It can be seen in the distance from here. Personally, I'd say the word peninsula is too large a word for this small piece of land. You can get here only by boat or bypassing the lake through the mountains, though that would take you over a day to do. At the beginning of the 12th century, a chapel was built here, and soon a monastery was formed. After 500 years, it was rebuilt, and over the next 3 centuries, it came to its present form. In 1810, the residence of the monastery was converted into a hunting castle, and today it serves as a restaurant and a small hotel. Here is the restaurant where you can taste perfectly cooked, delicious trout. Of course, this fish is freshly caught right here at the lake. Next to the restaurant is a small hotel. Sadly, all my attempts to reserve a room here ended in failure. Let's have a look inside the church. This is a Roman Catholic church built in the Baroque style, and memories of it standing here go as far back as the 12th century. It bears the name of the Holy Apostle Bartholomew, who, appropriately, is the patron saint of alpine farmers. Whenever people say that a place is paradise, I've always pictured somewhere more exotic and tropical. Maybe some island in French Polynesia or the Caribbean, somewhere like that. I think I may have been wrong about that now. And it should never be forgotten that paradise can be found where you least expect it. It makes sense that a monastery made its home here for so long, because this hidden little paradise is the perfect place for those who lived a good life to spend eternity. It also seems that my wife thinks so too. Join me next time for more adventures, and remember to like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching.